Greetings and salutations. It is I, Johnny of the Wizardcast, and here is yet another episode of Who the Heaven Is I, sponsored by the Wizardcast. Making magic is our business, as well as cool t-shirts, hats, and stuff like that. Oh yes, it is I, Johnny, and while I didn't get a chance to publish my story yesterday, it will happen. It's like inevitable. I did get some other stuff done yesterday, and sometimes you can't get everything done that you want to get done. But as long as you're moving the needle, that's the important thing, because especially for someone like myself, a one-man show running an entertainment company and all these other projects, as well as taking care of my client work, it becomes, I won't say challenging. It becomes, I guess I could say it becomes challenging, but it's a challenge that I'm willing to take, It's not an impossible challenge. I just got to get her done. And sometimes just, rolling up your sleeves and staying focused is what has to happen. And sometimes you have to sacrifice other things in the process. So there's that. And I find that, sometimes when you're going through stuff, you just got to keep grinding through and just keeping your eyes on the prize. And that's what I've been doing. Now, in that process, when you're climbing to the top of the mountain of your existence, some people don't want to climb with you. They don't. I'm finding this out. And that's up to them, They got their own things to do. But what would be nice is if they didn't come at you with pitchforks and daggers when it's like those conditional lovers that are only your friend or whatever they are, when you do what they want. But then the second you turn your focus on yourself just for a little bit, then and I don't know what happens in their head. I mean, I understand what happens, but kind of. I think they start to assume. And people say, oh, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. I don't think that's the case. I think when you assume, you make an ass out of you. Me? I'm good. Because all you have to do is communicate. But many people, in my experience, don't know how to communicate maturely. They get angry, or they isolate and they don't communicate at all. And to me, it's one of those things that things aren't going to always go the way you want. And some people I've found that when they don't get what they want, they get angry, they get reactive, they whine, they get nasty. And I don't understand that personally. Especially if I was a friend, or especially if I was someone that you value, can you communicate like a human being, a person that has a range of emotions that should be able to say, hey, I see this change going on here. Let's talk about it, because I don't feel good about it. And then I could address any concerns. I mean, this is one of the things I really loved about working at Apple when it was functioning as it should. We had a good feedback system, and the feedback was not to break someone down and make them feel inferior. It was meant to make them feel valued as a team member, but also help them grow and develop, because sometimes I know myself, eyes is not perfect, and I could use some insight and perspective, but I I don't appreciate it when it's being screamed at me or nastily threatened towards me, or like, that's not cool. Like, like scientifically it shows, like there's these things I've seen on like Instagram and Facebook. Water. You see water, right? And then someone will say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And they'll record like the sound waves and stuff like that, and the reaction of the water. And it's like really cool, you know? But then if you say like mean things to it, like they record it, and in the water, it doesn't have a nice rippling effect. It looks chaotic. And then there was even the study where they put the jars in the fridge, and the one that you talked nice to stayed fresh and clean. The one that you spoke nasty to, well, it got nasty. So, and I'm not saying hello nasty like the Beastie Boys. I'm saying like nasty like stuff you wouldn't want to be part of. So there's that. And so all I can do is be the best version of myself, and continue to be an example of how I want to be. But I can't force people to be kind and compassionate and nice and communicate fluidly and maturely. Although I believe that's one of the biggest problems in the universe on many platforms, whether it be between a spouse and another spouse, whether it be between family members, whether it be between an employer and an employee, or friends, or just even people on the street. I find that most people will internalize and come to their rabbit hole conclusions just by going down different things in their head, as opposed to politely and patiently just, engaging in conversation in an open arena, not in a premeditated, prejudgmental format. Because when you do that, then it's like you're not having a conversation. There's so many people I've had conversations with that they don't actively listen, and that's a big part of conversation, is actively listening so you can understand what the other person's saying. And I find that many people speak to be heard and to be validated, and with little to no concern of the other person, or that's the appearance at least, right? So maybe there is concern for the other person, but it's one of those things where it doesn't come off that way, especially when they cut you off when you're trying to explain what they ask you. Like that happens, right? Or they put the hands up to like stop you from speaking when you're trying to explain yourself. Like, what is that? Like, do you want to hear what I have to say, or do you want to just, suppress? And I guess that's a thing, right? Where people need to feel dominance, or need to feel like they won the battle in order to feel good. But first off, we are all one. So if you beat me, then you're losing too, because it's not about win or lose. It's about cohesion. It's about all the rainbow star cells in the universe coming together and getting along. And this is, to me, the big injustice of the universe, where many communities, or whatever you want to call them, they feel that they have to overpower things and win, and they don't seek to find the common denominators in the middle ground. And that's where the magic lies. What if the peanut butter beat down the jelly so much that the jelly no longer existed? I'm sorry, I don't want peanut butter sandwiches. I like peanut butter and jelly, preferably peanut butter with strawberry, and not just strawberry jelly. I like the I think I like the preserves because it has like the chunks of the strawberries in it. It's really nice. But that's neither here nor there. Like, anyway, I've been helping a friend working to get his like home theater system and house with music and all that stuff going lately, and it's been cool because I've got a chance to explore more of the music systems beyond what I've already known, and this is something where I think the world's become fragmented. In 2006, you want to share music with someone, boom, you get a CD, you hand it to them. I think I might even talk about this in an episode recently, but there's so many music platforms out there that the one receiver that he has is got tuned into it. Like a lot of services that I don't even think people even use. I don't know who uses Deezer. Does anyone use Deezer out there? I know it's a platform, but I think I've even used it just to experiment with it, but I've never used it. I like to think in my head, and this is something that's always interested me. In my head, I think that like Spotify probably is the most universally used one because there's a free version. They don't take away your playlist when you don't pay. And they were the first ones, I think, to do the college discount. So you get that whole thing. So I think Spotify is pretty dominant. Obviously, Apple Music, ever since they came out and they pump it through the iPhones, that's pretty popular. I've noticed Amazon really trying to make a crunch with their Amazon Music. Like, back in the beginning of November, they gave me like 4 free months. Said, here, take it. Just do something with it. And I'm still exploring that one. I've used Tidal before. Tidal is interesting. It's supposed to be like the premier, audio files system. But it seemed a little clunky. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. All these have their pluses and minuses. Like Spotify, I've realized on the phone doesn't give you all the rich options I get used to. For example, if I was going to want to explore a genre, like, hey, I want to listen to some classical music, there used to be a tab that I could find classical music, like, go music, genres, classical. Now, on the computer and the iPad, it's still there, but on the phone, they keep on pumping me stuff that they think I like based upon what I'm listening to, but then how do I listen to something new if I can't explore? I mean, and once again, software updates, they require sometimes you have to relearn new things and where things are, which is not enjoyable. But for me, the most part, I would say going in there and it should be really simple. Like you click on music and then it could have, hey, inspired for you in a section, and then a section for like genres. And that wasn't there. It wasn't quick and easy. So there's that. I think, and this is something I've said on other episodes. I mean, technology doesn't always make life better. I think sometimes it makes it more complicated. So getting back to the zeros and ones, and just the ground level of things sometimes is more important than anything else. So there's also Pandora. This is the one that surprises me a lot. A lot of people use Pandora more than I thought, because it was one of the first streamers beyond the Napster LimeWire era, if you know what I mean. If not, Google it. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now for copyright infringement reasons. No, for time reasons. But Pandora, was like something you put some music into, and then it would just recommend stuff. And there's now like premium versions and stuff like that, but all the other ones will do that too, but I feel like they do more. And I haven't played deeply with the latest versions of Apple Music, but Spotify's is the most feature rich, So there's that. Speaking of Rich, I think I'm going to end the podcast a little early today. I mean, not early. I mean, it's 15 minutes, right? Boom. There you go. You got your quota. I did the minimum, but and this was more of a mellow episode, just because not every episode's going to be ha-has with me, and I got work to do. I want to keep moving the needle. Keep threading my. Actually, I'm laughing because in my head, I talked with the knitting crochet club over at the library, and I don't know if I'm going to do it today, because even though it is Thursday, they do the knitting club. Then I want to learn how to knit inside the pattern of the yarn that I bought for some props and special effects for my filmmaking. There was a pattern that looked really cool. I was like, that would be cool to make. So I talked to them, and they said, yeah, we could help you make it. So there's that. And I think it's fun exploring and expanding my skill set. I mean, isn't that what this life's about? Not just waking up, going to work, eating food, coming home, watching TV, going to bed. Explore more. Open the door. And you'll enjoy life for sure. Anyway, it's I, Johnny, sponsored by the Wizardcast. Making magic is our business, where you can enjoy tech consulting and social media and websites and app development soon, as well as eclectic shops. Yeah. Check it out, thewizardcast.com. This has been officially sponsored. Well, even though I'm not really paying myself, but, if you check that stuff out, that'll help me get paid so I can keep doing not just this, but my other projects. And yeah, I should do that crossover Future 86 podcast soon. I'm still a little sleepy. But wake up. Okay, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. And if you must communicate, Calm-Unicate. Calmly, unified, like universally communicate, like get on the same level, be chill. What's the point of being angry? I think people that live in anger and negativity, I want to give virtual hugs to, because they've obviously got something going on deeper. But B, they're only selling themselves short. They could be so much better if they learn how to play nice in the sandbox. With that, I am off to the races. Actually, I'm not racing, I'm walking. All right, peace and power to your dreams.